All right, and we are live. Before we actually jump into the game, normally I just jump into it at this point, but you will maybe notice if you are watching this video that we have a new face in the group. Finally, a fourth party member in the form of Mary Chris, who is a great player, and we're happy to have her. And hopefully we can get to her character by the end of tonight's session and she doesn't have to play an NPC forever. But anyways, welcome, Mary. We're glad to have you. And we'll jump to it. So, drip, drip, drip. A short tunnel leads to a sunken cavern. A constant flow of slimy liquid drops from the stalactites that echo throughout this dark, dank cave. A thick green-looking stream flows 10 feet down into a pit, a large open area, which has another 10-foot wide pit in diameter in the center of it. This pit that's completely dark, it sinks down into what could only look like an empty void. It's darker than black itself. And you occasionally hear the flapping, the echoes of some creatures occasionally coming out from this dark void. Huddled next to a cluster of stalagmites are a bunch of humanoid, shadowy figures, roughly 20 of them, of different shapes and sizes. Their eyes have adjusted to this darkness, for they have not seen the sun in 3 days. There's halflings, there's humans, there's dwarfs, and even a tiefling family. They sit huddled around an old man who seems to be telling a story. The figures are clearly scared and shaking, but the old man seems to be trying to distract them from their thoughts. And as we kind of hear what he's saying, it seems that the story is coming to a close, and he leans in forward to these little children that are sitting in front of him and says, "And that, my little friends, is the story of how I got my stone arm." And he holds his right arm up, and it's completely made of stone, and he waves it in front of these small children. The small children kind of take in this story momentarily, forgetting the dire predicament that they're in. They beg for another story, Mr. Corner. He laughs and says, "An old man like me needs breaks in between recounting such wild adventures. But my granddaughter, she's become an even better storyteller than me. Livy, why don't you come here and tell them one of the tales?" All these anxious children eyes fix upon a girl, and go ahead.
Yes! All right. So that Livy is like, absolutely, sure thing. Okay. So how many of you have heard of an owl bear? And she'll kind of look around, see if there's any reactions or whatnot with that. And
a couple hold their hands up. I have.
Well, would you believe that once there's a king who was an owl bear? And she would then go into this tale talking about how way back for the city of Riverdeep, and how there once was a great king, but before he became great, his father had died, and so he was now to succeed. And that first day of his succession, in came this evil warlock who was like, "I will be your queen." And he's like, "No, I do not want you, because you just want the power, and you will destroy my kingdom." And she was mad, and she was so mad she turned him into this ferocious beast, trying to trick him, saying, "If you are unable to get someone to marry you within 5 years, you will be mine." But to make it even weirder and more, guess mean would be the best word for it. She would let him be human at night. But if anyone saw him in his human form, he would still be hers. And so he had quite the predicament. And the first year, was almost given up on all hope, except he went north up to the Winterlands, to the city, the kingdom of Rin. And there was a girl who actually, when she saw him, while others would run away thinking, oh no, it's an owl bear, she actually listened to him and she got to learn about his curse. And she not being afraid of him, and he seeing that she wasn't afraid, asked her, would she come back and be his queen? And she said yes. And so it looked like he had triumphed. Only for that evil warlock, she saw that he was close to success, and within months before this curse was broken, she went in and tricked the queen, telling her, you should just take a peek. Maybe this whole curse thing isn't real. What if he's just saying he's cursed, but he's really just hiding because maybe he got scarred in some fight and he doesn't want to show his mangled face or something. Who knows? So a little peek at night, that's not good. No one's going to know, only her. She went and took a peek, and sure enough, he was cursed, and he now belonged to the warlock. But the queen did not give up. She, with the help of others in the kingdom, was able to sneak in and was able, at their weddings, poison all the wine except the king's, and was able to destroy all the evil, reuniting her with her king. And that, because of the brave queen, is how King Joffrey was able to be his kingdom and was able to reign like his father had, and peace was restored. The end.
The children quietly clap and marvel at the story. Go ahead and take a point of inspiration, Mary.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
A dwarf approaches you, and you've come to know this man. You spent a couple days in Nightstone as Morak. Morak Yergray. And he says, "Oi, Livy, we appreciate you and your pa keeping the little ones distracted. How's your head? You took a nasty spill."
Good.
I thought I was saving you when those giants came, but it seems like I got you in a little more trouble than maybe there was before.
Maybe. We'll see. Perhaps they just need to see that we'll be kind to them. For example, my grandpa Ren, he clearly had a frost giant for a friend, so not all giants should be bad.
Oi, that's probably true, but the goblins, on the other hand, they're rather vile. But don't worry, I'm sure Valrosa will rally the gods any day now and come and save us.
I have no doubt.
Steps start echoing as they interrupt you guys talking, and at the top of this ledge, you see a large ogre, and she stands there licking her fat bulbous lips, and she points to the man named Hyrule. You know him as the city's priest of Lathander. He's the ogre says, your turn." The priest cowers instantly, saying, surely you're mistaken. No, not me. I'm a servant of Lathander, a servant of the light. No, take someone else. I'm still needed here. And he pushes himself literally behind the small children. The ogre grunts and pulls out a rope and starts swinging it a few times, a lasso, and he precisely locks it around this priest's neck. The priest starts to scream as he's dragged.
Does Livy know what's like? Is this something that's been happening off and on? Like people would be taken off?
Pretty much a couple times a day.
And
you are unarmed. They took all your gear. You basically have nothing.
Darn. Okay. Maybe why she's sitting so calmly then. It's just okay. Dang.
The priest screams as he's being dragged, and he says, "No! Take the children! Take anyone! Take the fucking demon family! Don't take me!" And he screams and screams as he's dragged away, and these screams echo through the cave for a while. And then a sickening crack of bones. And then no screams. Only the dripping of the cave. Drip, drip, drip. Darkness now turns to light as the sun has just passed midday over the city of Nightstone. The sound of drips, drip, drip, is heard. The dirt streets of Nightstone are darkened as a drop of crimson hits the streets. Kella's arm is outstretched as if she's just throwing something. It's all happened so fast, too fast to act. In an instant, almost, it almost feels like time itself has stopped. It's your move, Winston, is the last thing Sonny whispered. As the dwarf's head is down, looking at the dirt road, his fists are white knuckle clenched around his mace. He breathes deeply and says to Zolkin, who just referred to his wife in a very cruel manner, said that they killed her just because she was in the way. And he mumbles to himself, "You don't get to talk about her." Zolkin leans in from his horse. "What did you say there, little fella? I couldn't quite hear you." Before he responds, though, Sidiri, the city guard, steps up and he says, "You there! I recognize you. You're Zentrum bandits. I'm the city guard of Nightstone, and this city has seen quite enough trouble. We don't need yours, not today, not tomorrow. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this one time and one time only. Lay down your weapons and leap." An unnatural gargle cuts off his brave words as this man stands and opposes these bandits. Kella's arm outstretched. Sidiri grips at a dagger, plunged deep directly into his throat. Blood gushes and it hits the dirt streets as it drips and drips over and over again. Like a wave, time starts to unsnap. You hear the scream of Alara as she darts towards Sidri, who starts falling towards the ground. Winston speaks over this chaos, slowly and surely, through all of it. "You will not get to speak her name ever again." And that is where we will roll initiative. Alara, you're already rolled at a whopping 9. Or Mary, who is playing Alara, is rolled at a whopping 9.
I'll make it work.
Sounds like an exciting way to start the game, right?
Right, so we are rolling initiative or using initiative that's already in the combat tracking?
No, I rolled the initiative since that was prior kind of stuff.
Okay. I really like that one.
Mine's going. It's thinking.
If you're lagging, or it shows me that you're not even in the fantasy grounds, Morgan, so you might want to...
Yeah, it's stuck on the screen where I click on my character.
No worries. I'll roll yours really quickly for you then.
I should have it up here just a second.
Oh, he's in.
He's in? Oh yeah, he just jumped in. I'll roll it anyways though, just to get it
Go ahead,
going.
because I still got lag.
And you rolled a whopping 16, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, put them first on the list though.
However, is everybody else in?
Can you make the map appear for me?
Yes, but you can also do it. I'll teach you how to do it right now. As you click your character sheet,
Yep.
In the top right-hand corner, there should be a picture of your token, and you can click that and pull it up.
Got it.
Got the map up?
Yep.
All right. Those bandits all roll the same initiative. That's a mess up. Give me a second here. Let me re-roll a couple things. Fantasy Ground sometimes, when it's the same creatures, they group them all together with the same initiative. So that's a little better. All right. The first person to act is Zolkin. And he laughs as Sidri drops to the ground and says, "Jesus, Kella, you cut the man right off from what he was saying. He was trying to be brave. Well, looks like we're not getting along with these ones. All right, man, kill him." And he will reach into a satchel and say, "Oi, I picked this off your wife's wagon. Let's see what it does." And this liquid that he has that he's waving, taunting Winston with in front of him, it almost looks like metal liquid. And he quaffs it back, and his skin itself almost gets this metallic shimmer to it. And he's just going to stand there and wait. He starts whispering to his snake, who also is not going to act. But, however, as soon as I find where the initiative is, the first bandit to act will be one that Let me find him. Approaches and charges at you, Octavius. And I'm going to try a new thing here that I haven't tried before, so hopefully it'll work, hopefully it may not. We'll try it out. Instead of calling this guy Bandit 2, you're going to describe to me one thing that's unique about this guy. What does he look like as he's swinging at you with his rusty scimitar?
This bandit's, you can barely see his face. His hooded cowl is coming over. It's ruffled up around his neck. From underneath, when you can see his face, you can see a giant scar crossing his right eye.
Bandit, right eye scar. All right. He's going to pull his scimitar and say, "You should have ran while you could have, you stupid ass." And he's going to try to attack you. And he does hit. He plunges his scimitar in your gut for a whopping 3 damage.
Ooh.
Next up is Warndell. This chaos all kinds of comes grinding to a conclusion as the first bandit juts in and stabs Octavius right in the gut. What do? He's right beside you.
Now the 2 guys are on a wagon, or do they get down? Hella.
Sorry, all the guys, the Zulkin and one, or Zulkin's on the wagon, and the other 3 are on a horse, and I guess the one guy on the back is kind of sitting on top of it. Sorry, I don't have an actual wagon token. I probably could have got that, but I
And
could probably draw it.
do any of them wearing like really obvious metal armor?
I don't think so, but let me just double check. Leather all the way through. Let me check Zulkin, who also is wearing studded. So yeah, unfortunately, no metal.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Well, with that, I am going to, let's see. I'll take the right eye scar guy.
Okay.
It's not letting me select them, but I'm just going to go for the right eye scar guy right there with my.
Okay, go ahead. And you're doing what kind of attack? A firebolt?
Yeah, which is
Just barely misses. You do have a point of inspiration, though. I don't know if you want to use it.
not yet.
All right, so you charge up a firebolt, and as he charges in, you try to expel it from your hand, but he's able to duck. He yells out to his friends to get that one. He's a magic user. Sonny, you're now up. You look over to Winston, who is just standing there, clutching his mace, filled with rage. What do you do?
Sunny is, I don't know what's going on here, man. It's not connecting me in Fantasy Grounds, but whatever. Sunny 100% has grown a liking to Winston in the last, couple of days.
Mhm.
And his wife as well. She was so sweet to her. And first thing she'd like to do is move behind that boulder.
Okay.
Because she's also not looking very good.
Yep.
And she's gonna throw a dart because I'm gonna do that because no, I could throw 2 darts. I'm gonna throw 2 darts at that guy, but you're gonna have to do it for me.
Red-eyed
Because-
scar?
Yeah, for the Zolkin guy.
Okay, Zulkin.
Right
All
in his
right.
face.
All right.
Right in his
2
face
darts.
hole.
So you throw one, and it natural 20s, and you should get me to roll for you all the time. And you hit again with both of them. Now, let me double dice that and do that. So a total of 13 damage. So basically, what I'm going to tell you happens is you whip these 2 daggers at Zulkin, and they hit him with a ferocious precision. But as they do hit him, you see these darts almost not like stick into him, like his skin is harder than it should be, and you see that metallic shimmer that he just received from quaffing down this potion, and it seems like out of game knowledge he now has resistance to that. So instead of 13 damage, he does half of that. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, she just cry out, a little bit of help. I'm not feeling great, guys.
Zulkin laughs and says, "Ha, well, I guess this potion's doing something. I barely felt that, boys." Next up is another bandit, and he is going to charge at you, Warren, saying, after hearing that that you use magic from his buddy, describe one unique thing about this guy as he charges in at you with his scimitar.
Warren kind of smiles at this guy as he comes running forward, knowing that he has a few tricks up his sleeve. Although the first thing he notices, he's like, why the hell is this man wearing 3 different shoes? One on his hand and 2 on his feet.
Perfect, 3 shoes. If you say that out loud, he's like, oh, I lost my glove. I guess I'm a little bit drunk. I'm going to gut you nonetheless. And he actually goes to stab you, but he stabs with his shoe hand. And it misses you. And he's like, oh, shit. Wrong hand. You'll get it next time, you little bastard.
Hey, I got to restart. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just attack for you when you're not in. Winston's up next, and he hears... Oh, that's tough, because he hears Sonny cry out for help. But he's kind of pissed. So he will say to Sonny, don't worry, Sonny, get back. I'll take care of these ones. And he starts to chant a spell. And what this spell does is light starts to whirl around him. And slowly, almost like stars swirling around, start to drop out of the sky itself. He's channeling some powerful divine magic. And what you see are these little shadows that at first almost look like angels. And as they're whirling around, you actually see that they take the visage of LaDonna, his recently murdered wife. And he just whispers to himself, LaDonna, help me now, like you always helped me before. Help me become the man that you once made me. And he's going to make all of them in a 15-foot radius. Let me do that, which is quite a bit of people. Actually, all of them. Make a wisdom save. So let's target them. I said let's target them. And wisdom save. And damage. Getting an echo from you now, Corey, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute.
No worries. And that damage does this radiant light as LaDonna's spirits start to guide around him, and you see her just stare at poor Winston in almost like a pity. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at him, saddened. And next up, because that was a lot going on, is unfortunately more turns for me. Kella quickly darts out of the radius, and then actually let me check that spell really quick. She might have actually supposed to take it at the start of her turn, which is fine. And she is going to actually come up to Sidri is dead, or dying at least. She is going to come up to Winston and say, oi, I guess we'll get you like we gutted your wife. I'll take care of this one. And she's going to charge at him in short sword. And that luckily misses. And Octavius Wren, you're now up as this holy energy has just been summoned by Winston. You see Kella dodge towards him, but he just bats her hand away with a mace. Chaos in front of you. You see one bandit with a right scar on his eye, and another bandit with a shoe on his hand for some reason, slapping at Warren. The other 3 are still on the wagon. What do? You're on mute.
Friggin' mute. Octavius at this point is his anger is welling. All of his teachings from Ilmater are starting to boil and rage inside of him. Not only for what's happened to his friend Winston, but recognizing, the tattoos and not the name of the 7 snakes, but the ideal that they stand for, and them being Zentharim, and realizing that, the Zentharim are the ones that basically threw the distraction when my Holy Father was killed. And Octavius is just welling up this frustration, and then he'll just throw his arms up in the air, and he'll cast his arms out, and he'll just basically throw all the energy that he possibly can forward and cast Thunderwave.
Nice.
On 15 feet everywhere, I guess.
So basically, you could just use my radius, or if you know how to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. But
I think I got it.
all right. Control. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, I hit it twice though. I don't know why.
All right. Unfortunately, you hit it twice, but just roll the damage, and it should do it properly.
Okay, cool. Oh, shit.
1 damage. Jesus.
But it should knock them back if it hits them.
Yeah, if they failed, which the game I think will calculate for itself. Maybe not though. Did you? Yeah, you targeted them, so they took the damage. And give me a second here to look at who failed and succeeded. Looks like all but 1 succeeded, or 2 failed. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
And basically, just the energy wave that comes out of Octavius will rush his face, and he'll turn bright red, and then that'll be the end of his turn. But he'll be ready for the next.
All right, Sidri makes a death save as he's gurgling on the ground, slowly losing life. And now Alara, the mighty city guard of Nightstone, is now up as you just seen a friend of yours get killed.
Oh, snipes. Yeah, she's going to do her best to try to at least avenge. She does, being a fighter and probably not having much in the way of medicine. We'll come over here at least to stab Kella. So,
All right, so give me a d20, and your modifier is +3, since unfortunately you can't technically play this.
wrong way to roll that, Mary. Come on, get it right.
All right, that's a hit on Kella. And do a d6 damage. Roll that, and I'll add it manually. Nice, 6 damage. So that puts her at that. You
Does she have a
swipe
shield
in.
chance?
Her, yes, she.
Awesome. Then is she able to then like go in for defense if Kella tries to attack either or Winston again or something? Awesome.
Yeah, sure, that works. Next up is another bandit who is one of the ones that actually fell prone. And where is he? Bandit number 3. He actually falls off the wagon itself and will come in and attack you, Octavius. And this guy unfortunately misses too, as these guys apparently are a little junker than we thought. And the last bandit will come in and attack Winston. Now, he actually positions himself in a way where you're too far away to probably intervene. So he is just going to swipe at him, and for this situation, you won't get to block it, unfortunately. But apparently I'm going to roll brutally. So don't worry about that. Zolkin, starting his turn, he sees all of his comrades just like pitifully attacking you guys, and he's like, "Hey, come on, you shitheads! Stop fucking around! Kill them!" And he will stand up and chuck a dagger at you, Alara. And rolls in that one. Impressive. The right eye scar is going to attack at you again, trying to jab his scimitar once more, Octavius. Do that. And I rolled another one.
Good. You scratched my armor the first time.
I'm starting to like Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah,
you have really great rolls.
This is something. Warren, you're up, as the drunken fools these bandits are just like swiping and doing nothing. There's a guy with literally a shoe in his hand batting at you right now. What do you do?
Warren looks around at these fellows and says, I ain't got the time for this shit. I don't know how this is going to work exactly, but I'm going to target bandit number 3 with my sleep spell, which should cover everybody since it has a 20-foot radius from the point I choose.
Yep.
And I don't know if this just rolls or...
Yeah, for some reason, that's one of the ones that don't work. So
So it's I got it down below save. So
5d8. Oops, sorry. 5d8.
and it takes the lowest hit points first and goes and
Yep.
works its way down, right?
Yep.
So let me pull up a calculator
Yeah,
because
work his way up.
I'm gonna need this.